Give me a few minutes and I'll show you how to pre-handle any objection using something called a decision tree. I was a top producer at 7th Level, one of the largest sales training companies in the world. I was also top producer at Sales Sniper, back then the largest sales agency in high-ticket sales. I've also helped individual sales reps and multi-million-dollar sales teams double, triple, quintuple their sales. And a big part of that was by objection pre-handling using something called a decision tree. Because yes, objections still happen, but if you can pre-handle them, why not do that in the first place? So the first step of pre-handling objection from happening in the first place is isolate/clarify. Meaning we isolate and clarify what the real concern of the prospect is. So as an example, at some part in the discovery, I'm giving you something we share to our students, right? So at some part of the sales call, we're gonna ask the prospect, hey, so before we start talking, what else have you tried? What else have you looked at to try to solve your problem and get your outcome? We're not gonna ask it that way, but as an example, let's say it's a content offer helping business owners grow their business with social media and content, right? Then I may ask like, okay, so before you're talking to me, were you out there looking for ways to grow your business, or what else have you looked at? What else have you tried? So at that point, they're gonna tell us, what else have you looked at? What else have they tried? Now, why do we wanna ask that question? Well, we might wanna ask that question because if they try something in the past, we wanna know how that went, right? Because if it didn't go that well, don't we wanna know why? Because if we don't find it out, then at the end, after the pitch and the price, what are they gonna give us? Maybe we pitch it the exact same way the previous sales rep did, so now we're gonna get a value objection or fear objection, right? They may say that, yeah, I don't know, and we kind of tried that before, so I don't know if we should keep trying. But if we found out what they tried, why they believe it didn't work out, then we can position our pitch later differently as a different solution and helping them realize why what they tried in the past did not work and why this will be different and actually help them get more certainty and actually move forward. Is that making sense? That's called objection pre-handling. But on the flip side, if they didn't try something, why not? Let's say they've been stuck with their business for 6 months and they didn't try anything. Why not? Don't we want to know why? Because the reason why they didn't try something is probably gonna be the same reason at the end of the call, right? At the end of the call, if they believe that, oh, we don't have the time for it, if we don't pre-handle it now, we're most likely gonna get that after the pitch and the price, because they still have that belief, right? Unless we shift that. But in order for us to shift that in the first place, the step number one is isolate and clarify, meaning that what is the reason why what they tried in the past did not work, or why they believe so, or what is the reason why they didn't try anything. Not just the words they say, but it's the real reason. So let's say I ask, okay, before you're talking to me, what else have you tried? What else have you looked at to try to grow the business? Let's first go through, okay, they tried something. Let's go through that first, right? Then we want to know how that went, right? So we simply go, okay, how did that go? And either they'll say it went good, it went bad. If they say it went good, which is more rare, then we may say like, okay, so I mean, what are you looking at outside help instead of just doubling down on that? And they may say something like, yeah, it was good, but this and this was missing. Okay, bam, we found a gap. Or they may say that, yeah, I mean, it was good, but you know, it didn't get us to where we want to go. So we're looking for this. Now, if they say it didn't go that well, I got burned, it wasn't that good, yada, 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 then we simply clarify, right? So depending on what they say, if they say, oh, I've been burned, what do you mean? We got to clarify, because do we know what they mean by exactly I've been burnt? I mean, we kind of know maybe something bad happened, but we don't know exactly what happened, right? I mean, did that business take their money and run away and block them? Is it the fact that, I don't know, they tried something that they didn't put in the work that they should have? We don't know what happened, right? So we gotta clarify. So if they say that, oh, we didn't get the results that we want, okay, why do you think that is? And oftentimes what happens is they'll either make an excuse or they'll take ownership. They may say that, you know what? I didn't make the time for it. If it's a coaching program, I didn't make the time for it. And then we simply go, okay, how come? Well, you know, at that point, an excuse may come out. You know, I didn't have the time for it. Now, with that, now we're getting somewhere, right? So let's take the example of I didn't have the time. It's like, I didn't have the time to show up to the coaching calls and whatnot. So his belief, or the prospect's belief, is that, well, I didn't have the time, therefore I didn't get the results. But in reality, is that really true? That's a story to tell themselves, right? Everybody has a story to tell themselves. You do, I do, we all do. The prospects do too. Prospects always have a story to tell themselves. But that story's not helping them, is it? Because if something is really important to somebody, is it true that they actually make the time for it? Of course. If something's important to us, we always make a time, right? When we say we don't have time, when in reality, what we're really saying is that we don't have time for that. And if the prospect's saying that it's important for them to grow their business, but they say they don't have the time, it's not making sense, right? Their story and their actions and the reality are misaligning. It's not making sense. So their words are saying that I don't have the time, but in reality, the real reason why they didn't make a change is that, oh, they're not prioritizing it. So that is called isolate and clarify. Is that making sense? Once we got that, once you got the real reason, because oftentimes what they say is the reason, it's not the real reason. Once you got that, then we move to the next step, which is we gotta reframe. Okay, what is a reframe? Reframe essentially is helping them see things from a different perspective. Because right now their story, how they look at it, current belief is like, oh, I didn't have the time, therefore I didn't get the result. So we gotta shift that into, well, if this is important to me, I'm gonna make the time. We gotta shift that into that, right? So how do we shift that? How do we reframe them into that belief? I mean, we could say, well, bro, you gotta make the time, but it's not gonna be that effective, is it, right? So in that case, in order for us to get to that point, there's a series of different tools we can use. One is a simple reframe. The other one is a story. The other one is an analogy. So let's first go through that reframe example. With the time objection, right? Since them saying like, I don't have the time, then I'll simply say that. First, we wanna get buy-in and get them open to the idea of looking at it from a different perspective, okay? Then we may say something like, are you open to looking at that from a different angle? There's different things we can do. Essentially, we're asking, hey, are you open to looking at that from a different angle? So we simply ask that. Some people online say that, oh, that doesn't work because the prospect could say, no, I'm not open to the perspective. That almost never happened to me ever. I've said those exact words so many fucking times. If you've done a shitty job prior to that, then yeah, they're gonna say no. But 99.999% of the time, they say, oh yeah, for sure, go ahead. They almost always say that, as long as we set it up in the correct way. So there's a skill set issue. Now, going back to this. Are you open to a different perspective? They may say like, yeah, sure, go ahead, Brian. Then I'm gonna go, when we say we don't have time, we're basically saying that we don't have time for that. Because could it be possible that we all make time for things that are important to us? So that's called a reframe. I ask in a question format, right? To help them come to their own conclusion, because that's the most effective way of persuasion. So you're gonna say like, oh yeah, you're right. Be like, yeah, exactly. So have you ever considered the fact that it's not that you didn't have the time, it's just that you didn't prioritize it and make the time to actually implement a different strategy to grow your business? They'd be like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm glad that you're acknowledging that. So why do you feel like that has maybe costed you? But not prioritizing it actually, taking more responsibility. And they may say that, well, I think it's costing me a lot of growth in the business and this and this and this, right? Yeah, for sure. And what do you think is gonna continue to cost you if you don't make a change? Our business is gonna keep being stagnant, right? Whole point of that is we're tying their limiting belief or their objection or their excuse into a cost. Because if there isn't a cost, they're gonna be like, well, what's the fucking big deal? I didn't have the time, right? But if they be like, oh fuck, me telling myself that I don't have the time, that has costed me this much in revenue, this much in money, this much of time I could have spent with my family, whatever you sell. Then now it has more weight to it. Is that making sense? It's like, fuck, that is the reason. And then we go into the third step, which is commitments. We gotta get commitment of them wanting to change, them changing, right? We gotta get commitment of them changing. Not commitment of them buying the program or whatever thing you sell, but commitment in change in action, right? Instead of keeping like, well, I don't have the time, they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna make the time. So how do we get them to that point of them telling themselves that they're gonna change? This is one question you can ask, right? I simply go, yeah, for sure. So how do you feel like your actions need to change? Or how do you feel like your perspective needs to change? Either one works. How do you feel like your actions need to change regarding this? That way you can get outcome or you can get rid of problem. Now, we're not literally gonna say that way you can get outcome or that way you can get rid of problem. We're not literally saying this, but we're gonna insert whatever they told us in the previous part of the discovery. Because this is gonna come after we uncover the pain and the problem of the prospect. They might have told us that they've been stagnant with their business for the last 8 months. They might be saying that, dude, I'm working 70 hours a week in my business, whatever, right? Going down to the example, right? So yeah, so for sure. So how do you feel like your actions need to change regarding this? That way, you're not keep spending 70 hours a week in the business being away from the family. I'm gonna ask that. So why do you think you need to change? Essentially, that's what I'm asking. That's the whole point, right? What's gonna change from you? And almost always prospects will answer this. They'll be like, you know what? I need to make the time. Now that sounds good on paper, but is it really good? Actually, let me just follow along. We went through this part. Can I, for perspective, have you ever considered that X, Y, Z? What do you feel like that has maybe costed you? And how do you feel you need to change regarding X, Y, and Z? And they may say that I need to make the time. I need to change. It sounds good in theory, but it is not a commitment, right? I need to is not a commitment. Because guess what? How many smokers say, oh man, really gotta stop smoking? How many overweight people say, I really need to go to the gym, but how many of them actually do? Not all of them, right? Because I need to is not a commitment. I commit to X, Y, Z. That's more of at least a verbal commitment, right? So we shift that. Because when they say I need to, it's a very convenient way of them saying that, oh, I'm not gonna do that thing. They just feel better by saying like, oh, I need to. So at that point, I simply go here, right? I mean, we both know you need to, but the question is, how committed are you to actually take this more of a priority for your business? Or how willing are you to X, Y, Z? I go there. How willing are you? Are you willing to? How committed are you to changing your action? Then you go like, yeah, I'm really committed. I'm willing to. That's more, we're getting more buy-in, we're getting more commitment, more investment from the person to changing, right? Again, not commitment to the fucking program, the thing we're selling, but commitment to the action. Because if they commit to changing their actions in terms of taking this more of a priority, guess what? The next thing that happens is a byproduct. Then moving forward on the sales call and buying the program. They committed that they're gonna be more proactive, and by being more proactive, they're gonna get help, as long as you do the pitch well. Make sense? So you're gonna be like, you know what? Yes, I'm committed to changing. Okay, but why? Because you haven't for the last 8 months. Okay, but why? Because it's hard. I may say something, I'm gonna push them away for a little bit. I'm gonna ask them why. Because guess what? When we ask them why, what are they gonna do? They're gonna justify, they're gonna tell, not us, they're gonna tell themselves why they gotta make a change. And whenever someone adds a reason, it makes it more tangible, it makes it more concrete. It's like them digging their heel into the ground, saying that they're almost overcoming their own objection, right? They're overcoming their own objection and they're persuading, they're convincing themselves. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take this more serious and I'm gonna be more proactive, because if I don't, then I'm gonna lose my business, or our business is never gonna grow, or I'm never gonna be able to spend more time with my family. So we get a good reason. After that, I like to, this is more advanced concept, I like to reward them. Whenever they do a positive action, positive behavior on a sales call, I would like to reward them, right? It's called positive reinforcement, right? Reinforcing the positive behavior. So I may say that, you know what, I really respect that you're actually committing to changing and taking more responsibility, because most business owners don't do that, which is what they say stuck. But the fact that you're doing that, it means that you're the type of guy that's gonna move further ahead. So I respect that. And then I move on to my next question. So that's essentially pre-handling in a nutshell. So like I said, isolate, slash clarify. After that, we reframe. After that, we loop back to the commitment. Okay, this is very important. And we do not move on until we actually get concrete answers in each part of that. If you get vague answers like, oh, I think, I need to, maybe, we correct that and then we move on. And so this is really not so more of a word track. I mean, you could say it's a word track, but it's more of a framework, repeatable, rinse and repeat framework, right? If they say, oh, I didn't have the time. Even if they say, whatever, I've been burned before, whatever. Like skepticism as an example. We isolate, reframe, and then we commitment, right? I'll give you another example too, right? If they say, I've been burned before, we're gonna go through the exact same thing, right? Let's say, okay, before you start talking to me, what else have you tried? What else have you looked at? I don't know, man, I tried this marketing agency, it got burned, right? Let's say we're selling some sort of content offer, marketing offer, right? I tried this marketing agency, I got burned. Okay, now we gotta isolate and clarify. We don't know what that means by I got burned. Okay, what do you mean burnt? Well, dude, we got no results. Okay, why do you think that is? They may say, oh, because of XYZ, or because, I don't know, man, I don't think paid ads work in my industry, or I don't know, man, I don't know what happens. If they don't know why they didn't get the results they want, we can ask specific questions where we kind of know why it didn't work out, right? So as an example, let's say we sell some sort of done with you, right? We sell like a content coaching program, helping them implement on their own, right? But it was the marketing agency they tried was a done for you. Well, here's the thing. Who in the business, or who in the world knows the business better than anybody else? They're like, well, me, right? So if you hand it off to a marketing agency, it sounds good in theory, but do they know the business in and out as much as you do? They're like, no. Right, so how will they be able to market your business better than anybody else? They met your business one day ago. They're like, oh shit, yeah. We could also say, with marketing agencies, how many other clients do you think they're working with? They're like, I don't know, probably a lot. Right, exactly. More marketing agencies, they're working with 10, 50 other clients. So if they're working with 10, 50 other clients, how much attention or how much do you think they care about your business? Just 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 50. They're like, oh shit, yeah. So could there be a possibility, the fact that because of that reason, maybe it didn't work out? They're like, oh yeah. How so? Well, because of da-da-da. So we're helping them realize why it didn't work out. And later in the pitch, we're gonna position our solution as different. But we also gotta pre-handle that objection of, I've been burned before, right? So at that point, what I'm gonna do is, yeah, and also can I offer perspective on your situation because I want to help you? They're like, yeah, sure. So you say you got burned before, right? What even has you wanting to keep on keeping on instead of just throwing in the towel? Because most people would do. At that point, they'll say, I need to keep trying because I need to grow my business. They'll justify it themselves. Or they may keep giving objections like, I don't know, man, it's hard. I don't know if I should keep trying. At that point, I actually get excited when prospects give me an objection because now I can reframe that. I can actually increase my authority as well, right? Build my credibility. Can I have a perspective? Like, sure. Have you ever been in a relationship where it thought it would work out, but it quite didn't? They'd be like, oh yeah. And after that bad relationship, they just give up altogether on meeting new people. They're like, well, no. Okay, why not? Why not stay alone for the rest of your life? Well, because in that case, then I wouldn't be able to meet other people. Yeah, you mentioned that you're married with 2 kids, right? You're happy? They're like, I hope so, haha, right? Yeah, because if you let that one bad relationship stop you from meeting new people, would you have the beautiful family that you have now? Like, oh no, I wouldn't, right? So what would that have costed you if you just stopped there? Oh man, I wouldn't have the family I have now, da-da-da. Again, going back to cost. And then I may say that, yeah, for sure, because if you let that one shitty marketing agency stop you from other things that could help you grow your business, basically you're letting them burn you twice, the first time and the second time. And are you gonna let that shitty marketing agency stop you or slow you down even from you having the business that you want? No, I'm not. Why not though? Oh, because da-da-da-da-da. Right, so how do you feel like your perspective on it needs to change? That way, you don't have to keep being stuck for another 8 months. Yeah, I guess I gotta be open to da-da-da. Yeah, you say you guess, but are you open to? I am. Why though? Because da-da-da. So you see, in that case, I did an analogy, right? A relationship analogy to help him cement the point. So it doesn't matter what objection or what concern they give us in the discovery part. You can also rinse and repeat the same framework on an objection handling after the price as well. So just plug and play. Again, this is a framework. It's not an exact word track. There are word tracks for sure, right? We give a lot more different reframes and analogies to our students inside of the program. But the most important part is understanding the framework. Okay, the first step is this, second step is this, third step is this, and the reason why is this. Because once we know that, doesn't matter what objection they throw at us, we can handle or pre-handle, doesn't matter what it is, because we understand the principle, not just focusing on the surface of your tactics. The reason why a lot of sales trainings and a lot of sales videos don't work is because they're only focusing on the surface of your tactics and word tracks, which sounds cool, it's very flashy, it's good for views, but it's not that effective, which is why most people, they go through a lot of sales videos on Instagram or YouTube, or they may go through sales courses and they get more confused than before. And maybe they get worse results and things don't change. And that's what we do inside of our program, is that I train you on principles, that way you understand it, you see it, you see through the matrix. That way you're self-sufficient. Doesn't matter what objection, you can pre-handle or overcome it. And that's why when students come in, they're really obsessed over study, get feedback on the sessions. They're able to become top producers on their respective offers. So if you want the same help, all right, then you can go to the first link in the description box to see the demo of our program, Real Sales System. If you're eligible, be able to schedule a consultation call. I'll see you there.